Hi everyone, it's Jenny Fink here with Good For You Gluten Free, and I'm here on a beautiful Sunday morning testing spices. So many of you have asked me if spices, like jarred spices, are gluten free, and I decided I would test 18 brands because we're going to test one today. I have tested 17 brands. And if you look at the post, you can see the article where I posted the results of 17 brands of spices. But today I'm going to do the 18th brand live. I have not tested this yet because I like to test things live to make sure we find out together if it's gluten-free. And so this Facebook Live is sponsored by the Nima Sensor, and I am going to use my trusty Nima Sensor to test the Old El Paso Taco Seasoning Mix today. Okay, so let's get started, and I'm going to chat more about spices in a bit. But you take your new test capsule and then you put a little bit of the spice inside. I might make a little mess. Just a little bit, see? And because it's a dry powdery ingredient, Nima recommends that you just add a few drops of water to the mix too. And again, you don't want to overflow it because when you overflow it is when you get errors. And I have gotten my share of errors. It happens to the best of us. If you do get an error, Nima will send you a new capsule, so don't worry. Okay, so it's in the capsule. It's sealed. I broke the green seal. And I'm going to put it inside my Nima Sensor. Move that. And I'm going to test it. Hit start. And I love this feature. It's been for a few months now where it says testing for gluten, and it'll show that it's testing for gluten here. And we will find out in about 2 to 3 minutes if this Old El Paso Taco Seasoning Mix has gluten. So since you're here too, I want you to look at this. So this is not labeled gluten-free, but I looked at the ingredients, chili powder, I don't know, all this stuff. It's kind of questionable if it's gluten-free. Like I would look at this and be like, I think it's okay, but I'm not certain, and it's not labeled properly, so I'm just going to double check and we're going to find out together if it's gluten-free, because again, there's nothing on here that says gluten-free, but there's nothing in the ingredient list that is like a huge red flag to me. Obviously maltodextrin could be derived from wheat, I'm not sure. I also know that this, what is it? There's silicon dioxide, which I looked up is not, it's a chemical, it's not wheat. It's just an anti-caking agent. It makes sure that the spices don't stick together. And you'll see that in a lot of ingredient lists, and it should be totally fine. But again, we're gonna find out if this mix is gluten-free. And like I said, I already tested 17 other spices. I did I took one spice from different brands. So here's the Trader Joe brands. This is the one I tested to find out if it had gluten. And you can see that result again in the link in the post. I did want to point out that in the spice world, there are only 2 spices that I found were certified gluten-free. I found Spicely was a brand that had the certified gluten-free, which means they pay a third party to verify that it is gluten-free. So the Spiceleys are verified gluten-free. And Wild Tree, this is one you can buy from your friends. A lot of people have Wild Tree parties, and I actually really do like Wild Tree products. And these are certified gluten-free, and I get this from my friend Andrea. So you have to have a friend who sells them. But if you need a link, just let me know. I'll hook you up. But these are certified gluten-free, but Mrs. Dash was one that I know a lot of people use, and this does not have anything to tell me it's gluten-free. But I also looked at the ingredient list, and I mean, a quick look at that, you'll see there's nothing in there that screams there's gluten in here. I also tested the Weber seasoning salt. I tested Sprouts brand. I tested Target brand, Whole Food brand. You'll see all of those tested in my report. Lowry seasoning salt, this is one I get a lot of questions on. I don't actually use it. I had to go buy this to test it. But again, there was nothing in the ingredient list that screamed gluten. And I also tested Tajín. Again, nothing in it that screamed gluten, but you're gonna wanna see how this one tested. So you're gonna have to check out the article. And this one, oh, actually this one does say gluten-free. This is a not beef bouillon cube. It's a vegan beef, and they have a chicken one. This one did say gluten-free. This was the only other one that I noticed said gluten-free, not certified, but it did say gluten-free. And I tested this as well. And you'll see I tested a whole bunch of different spices. So go check out the article. It's on the Nima Sensor website. Most of you know I'm a huge Nima Sensor fan. I've been using it since really, I think, several years ago, and I am working with them and collaborating with them. So this live is sponsored by the Nima Sensor, and they've also given me an awesome coupon that I'm allowed to share with you for $25 off. Good for you, GF. Good for you, GF, when you check out, and it will give you $25 off. Okay, I got the thumbs up from my husband and son behind the camera that we have results. So let's look. Ooh, that's kind of interesting, isn't it? One thing I want you to know, this doesn't mean every single taco seasoning mix from Old El Paso is gluten-free. I don't know if there's any risk of cross-contamination, but what I can tell you is this one is safe and gluten-free, so you could use it again. So that's kind of an interesting finding to me, because I've always been told to stay away from these taco seasoning mixes, but I actually think you can use it and feel comfortable using it. Of course, you'll want to test your own and test them. Get your own Nima Sensor to test them. So, all right, so that's all I have for you here on this beautiful Sunday morning. My family and I, we're going to go to lunch and we're going to go run errands and spend the day outside. But I hope that between this test and what you'll see in the report, that you'll feel a little bit more knowledgeable and comfortable using spices. But I will tell you, there was one that did test for gluten, so go check it out in the report. That's all I have for now. See you guys later. Bye.